Hey, what is up, you guys? We are back finally with a new video, and today we are checking out this gigantic, and I'm talking about gigantic, BX-32 Wide Xtreme Stadium. Now, right away, the first thing I'm going to say about this stadium is there is actually no extreme pocket in here, so you don't get really an extreme finish like the standard Beyblade X Stadium. Now, I don't know if that is just simply because I got a different mold, or if other people are kind of getting this similar dome, where once you put the dome on, it has the extreme pocket right here, right behind the extreme line, and then just a solid wall right back there. But either way, I'm excited to be able to have a bigger stadium to potentially see even more crazy and epic battles with the Beyblade X bays. Now, the BX-32 Xtreme Wide Stadium was designed for a total of 3 players, so allowing you to have more people participate in a single battle rather than trying to cram in a ton of different bays in the standard size Xtreme Stadium. Now, there you guys go. That is the side comparison of the standard Beyblade X Xtreme Stadium and the new Wide Xtreme Stadium. The size difference is just unparalleled. Now, the one thing that is actually a little bit different that I'm going to point out is this inner battle circle right here. This circle is actually smaller than the standard type stadium, so it's going to allow, once they are in here, it's going to force them to make more contact. Now, the one big issue I will have with the stadium is going to be just right outside of the main battle circle right in the middle. This side is not as steep. We've seen in the standard stadium certain defense types, for example, getting up on top of the ledge and kind of just hanging out there while the attack types kind of run out of juice and run out of steam. But in the standard Beyblade X Stadium, they do eventually kind of fall back in and make contact before the opposing bay is completely out of juice. Now with this, there is so much more room for your Beyblades to be stuck out in, we'll call it no man's land, stuck out in no man's land, to potentially have some pretty boring battles. So this might potentially be the Beyblade X version of the DB Stadium from Beyblade Burst. Now, the DB Stadium had a very similar issue with up on that top ring, particularly with attack types getting stuck up there, just kind of riding it out while defense base sit in the middle, and the attack types just losing all power before they can even make contact. I've seen some battles where the Beyblades didn't even make 1 point of contact before they already ran out of stamina. Now, I'm hoping that is not the case with this new Extreme Wide Stadium, but we're going to check it out. We're going to see if this stadium is actually worth the money, because it is a lot more expensive than a standard type stadium. So let's get some bays out there. We're going to launch some. We're going to try it out with just 2 bays. We're going to see how well just 2 bays interact in here, or if you actually do need to have 3 or more players in this stadium to be able to make it any good. Got Drawn Buster and Hell's Side. So right there, I do like that. Rather than the extreme line hitting and going straight that way, it does get an angle with that matching that right there, so you are able to strike if they're sitting in the middle. So that's actually good. Let's get those guys another go and just kind of check it out more. There we go. Nice solid hit by Drawn Buster. See, with the attack types, they actually do really well, like making contact. I'm more concerned of more of a stamina style bay like that, kind of coasting off into no man's land. The Hell's Hammer is actually able to beat Drawn Buster. There we go. Getting 2 attack types. We got Cobalt, Dragoon. See how less spinning. Oh my god, extreme finish Tyranno beat. So it does seem to do pretty well if you have 2 bays in a stadium this size, but that is with 2 attack types. Now, whether you're going to have 2 defense types or 2 stamina types, in fact, let's bring those types in and let's see if there's going to be a lot of no man's land stalemates where no action is going to happen at all. There we go. We got Wyvern, Gale, and we got Night Shield. Ooh, that's a good extreme dash by Night Shield. So let's just see how stamina and defense, 2 bays in this giant stadium, actually functions. It's not too crazy of impact. I think there's too much room for them to move to develop any strong impact, in my opinion. that was a good extreme dash by Wyvern Gale. So there it is, no man's land. Fortunately, Night Shield is able to kind of get back down from up there. There goes, Night Shield does take that victory. Alright, now let's bring in 3 bays. We're going to bring in all attack types again. We're going to bring in Dran, Dagger, Shark Edge, and Cobalt Dragoon. Let's see how all attack types with more than 2 bays interacts in here. See, attack types do seem like a lot of fun in this stadium. That is for sure. But there it goes. Dran Dagger does take that victory. Alright, now we're going to test out all defense types. We got 3 defense types. We're going to use Sphinx Cowl, Knight Lance, and Rhino Horn. We're going to see how defense types stand in this stadium. There he goes, a stream finish. High needle versus gear needle now. See right there, that is my biggest fear of the stadium. I'm telling you, just the stalemates of no contact. Ooh, Sphinx Cowl. See, there's the no man's land that I'm talking about. They just hang out up there. That right there is my biggest fear. There he goes. He actually gets in there, makes some contacts, but there they go. Stuck up here just like that. This is what I'm talking about. This is my biggest fear with the stadium this size.
Damn, son.
There goes Rhino Horn. Gets an extreme finish, technically. Tag team right there. Now I'm definitely wondering, honestly, if this stadium release is kind of revealing something more in the future of the Beyblade X tournaments, or even the anime, where we're going to start seeing 3 bladers go at it at once. But overall with the stadium, I think it's going to take time for people to get used to it. I think it's going to take time for people to kind of figure out how the stadium actually functions effectively. Alright, but there you guys go. This is the BX-32, the Extreme Wide Stadium. Now, overall, I do think Takara Tomy kind of bit off more than they could chew with this stadium. I love the concept. I love the idea of having a bigger stadium to provide more room for more players to kind of jump in and battle. However, overall, I do think that this was kind of a flop. I'm not gonna lie, I do think this is a flop. Takara Tomy does have a history of trying to come out with their own stadiums. However, I do think Hasbro, when it comes to Beyblade in general, even back to the Metal Fight and even back to Plastic Gen, the stadium releases that Hasbro has made are far better than the random change of designs in the stadiums that Takara Tomy has. But I do like and appreciate the thought that went into making a stadium this size. I know a lot of us were wanting a larger stadium. However, I do feel that this stadium is nerfing out most of the bays. So in my opinion, unless you actually have more than one person, not a dual launcher, but more than one person actually willing to battle you, I do think that this stadium could be put on the back burner. I don't think you really need it. I mean, it's cool and great to have in the collection. I'll still probably make some shorts and some other videos battling in the stadium. However, I think I am still going to be sticking to the standard Beyblade X Xtreme Stadium. The functionality in that stadium, I do believe, is a lot better. The one-on-one for Beyblade X, it just functions a lot better than 1 versus 1 versus 1, having 3 people crowding a stadium like this. Now, much like the DB Stadium with the Beyblade Burst, the outer ring is no man's land. You're getting your bay up there, they're going to get stuck, and it's going to create a very dull and boring battles. And I know Takara Tomy's made a huge step to get away from making dull and boring battles. Hence why they came out with Beyblade X after Beyblade Burst, because we have seen countless very, very dull and boring battles throughout the Beyblade Burst series, even the Metal Fight and even the Plastic Gen. Now, Beyblade X was supposed to kind of break through that to make even stamina battles explosive and entertaining to watch. However, I think the stadium does nerf that ability. It is cool to see a Bay catch that extreme line and go across that whole gigantic thing. But overall, I just think this is just a stadium, just a product you could just kind of throw in your collection if you want to spend the money, or just you could put it on the back burner. You really do not need it. This is something you could definitely just sit back and just kind of think on a little bit. But that is all we have for this video today. I do appreciate you guys jumping in and watching it. Just keep hanging out. We got some more Beyblade X. We got Black Shell coming. Unboxing the complete Random Booster Volume 4 Black Shell, the best random booster that has been released for Takara Tomy, especially for Beyblade X so far. We're going to look at the prize Bay Black Shell. We're going to test it out in some battles. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video.